Hi and welcome back to Learn Python by Doing number 26. So now we're going to learn about some useful libraries. In this case, we're going to talk about the python.env. So what does it do? It helps to manage environment variables very easily. So let's see this with an example. Remember that we created this project here and we had our requirements.txt. So here we're going to include this python.env library. And remember, in order to install this dependency, then we have to first check if the virtual environment is active. So here we have this venv, so that means it's active. And then do execute or run this command here. So I already installed it before, so that's why it says here that requirement is already satisfied. Okay. Here pandas was ignored because it was already installed, and this also was ignored because I installed it before doing this video. But maybe you should see a message that python.env was successfully installed. Okay, so now here in Linux, if we want to use an environment variable, then we should do something like this. So suppose we're working with an API and the API has a key. So every time we want to use that as an environment variable, suppose this is the API key, we have to do this. So if I execute this command printf to print the environment variables and catch that API key, then it is set. Okay, but it will be cumbersome to this every time you want to use that environment variable. So that's why people create these files called .env file. So in this env, then you can do this API key and set the value to whatever it is. Okay, so if you are pushing this to a public repository, then maybe you should add this file to the git ignore, because it may contain sensible information that you don't want other users to know. But if you are in a private repository, maybe it's a good idea to maintain the .env file and not add it to the git ignore. So I say maybe because people still, or the project, the architect of the project you are working in, maybe is saying, well, don't add it at all, that file. Okay, so that depends. So I'm going to add it, and again, in order to use that environment variable, first we're going to create a new file that is going to be called main.py. And here I'm going to import the OS built-in library. And I'm going to say if name is equal to main. Okay, so if name is equal to main, I'm going to print os.environ.get, and I'm going to specify that I want to get the API key. So this get is going to return none if this environment variable does not exist. So now let's run this thing here. So I'm going to say python3 main.py. So now it's the value of the environment key. So remember, I did this thing here, printf grep API key. So it's the same value from this one. But here in the .env file, I think I changed it a bit. So I want to use this one. Okay, so first let's see how this get works by specifying an environment variable that does not exist. So it's returning none because this API keys does not exist. Okay, so now let's use the python.env library to manage this problem. So I'm going to say from .env import load.env, and here I'm just going to execute or call this function here. And now let's see. Okay, so let's close this terminal here and let's create a new one. Okay, so now it's the new API key which is specified here. So you don't have to do this export API key and put the value whatever it is. Now it's managed automatically when you import the .load.env function from this .env library. So I know it's not called the same as what we specified here, but it's because we can't put dashes in the name of these libraries. So that's why when you want to use this python.env, then you have to import it just like .env, and then this loads all of the environment variables that you specify here. So for example, let's I don't know, specify some secret key here, and here let's print that us environ get a secret key, and let's again do this. So now this is the API key. Now this is the secret key. So this is a good way to manage your environment variables. I recommend you to use it to do it. And I hope you like this video, and see you in the next one.